This land is your land, and this land is my land, from the California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Welcome back. We're joined now by Minh Van Tran, who is an intern at the Library of Congress, also by Corey Shinko, an intern with the Smithsonian Folkways recordings, and Raisa Nubisi, who was an intern for the Smithsonian Folklife Festival. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Minh Van, I'm going to start with you. You are from Vietnam, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you've been in the United States for how long?
I've been in the United States for almost 6 years.
6 years. And before you came here, had you heard about the Library of Congress or the Smithsonian Museums?
No, I haven't.
So this was really a new experience in every way.
Yes, absolutely.
You had the opportunity to spend some time at the Library of Congress.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the project that you worked on.
I worked on the replacing the dead links for the Vietnam portals and the Cambodian, the Laos, and the Indonesian portals. And besides that, after finishing the work, I started working in the Jefferson Building. So I went to Adams Building to find some books for myself about geriatric pharmacy.
And about pharmacy, because eventually your plans, you've been accepted to pharmacy school.
Yes.
Hey, let me ask you, when you started your education at Montgomery College, coming back to school, did you imagine that this kind of opportunity was available, and how did you find out about the program?
At first I joined the honors programs, and then I received a lot of emails from instructors in charge of that program, and I was so surprised, saying, "Oh, it's a prestigious institutions. How can I get in?" And I just applied, and I was chosen.
Sometimes it just works out like
That's
that.
right. And you also had a special, I guess we should say, relationship with the mentor or the supervisor that you worked with, and your bilingual skills came in there too.
Yes, she is Miss Lin Hung Fiddler. She was very happy, and she told me it's the first time in 30 years of working she have had a Vietnamese intern.
Wow.
Yes.
Corey, let me turn to you. You look like somebody who would love folk music. I mean, you got the look going and everything. But we want to back up first. We want to know in each case, how you got to Montgomery College in the first place prior to the opportunity to do an internship like this. We have students coming from all different places and backgrounds. How did you get to Montgomery College and eventually find out about this Smithsonian internship opportunity?
Well, it was a long path, actually. I moved around a good bit, but I did have the ability to go to a lot of the Montgomery County public schools, and I graduated from Poolsville High School. And I went to Montgomery College. They were, willing to help me out financially. They have great classes, and as we are talking about today, great opportunities. And I also got involved with this internship through one of the honors classes I'm with, Women in Philosophy, and my professor Tulin Levitas has been an exceptional professor, and she got me involved with this. And
I can't let this go just before you even go on.
Yes.
You took a Women in Philosophy course. That was very brave for a guy to do that, yes? Were you the only one in the class?
I'm the only student in the class.
The only male student?
The only student.
The only student?
all,
So it was
yes.
like sort of like a independent study.
Kind of, absolutely.
Well, that's brave still, yeah.
Very brave, that's right. One-on-one relationship with a professor, and that's a tough academic experience.
Yes.
But you eventually also found out about, or got the opportunity to get in the Smithsonian experience, and also dovetail your love of music. But tell us what you've had the chance to do with the Smithsonian.
One of the great things is being a young person. When you think about folk music, you think a lot about the grassroots culture, early 1900s, up through the decades and stuff. Not so much anymore now as we're in the 21st century. So one of the big things that a lot of the interns do there, and I work for Richard Burgess, who's the Director of Marketing and Sales, is trying to get the word out to younger people and get it out in an appealing way. We're going digital now. Everything's going digital. So I mean,
even folk music has gone
even
digital.
folk music is. And we have master tracks pre-World War I on metal coils and on glass and everything. And we're trying to upload everything onto iTunes, social networks such as Facebook and MySpace, and really advertise and put the word out there for other young people to continually show interest, in just our country's entire musical heritage. So.
I just have to ask I want to bring Rais in, but before we go on, you got to work a little bit or to see some special objects related to one of our all-time great American folk singers, Woody Guthrie.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Woody Guthrie has been more than an idol to me. His entire life story, leaving home when he was 13 to go out on the road. And I was fortunate enough to not only look at, but be able to peruse through myself some of his authentic drawings that he did in his artwork in the 1930s and 40s. And this again goes into our entire archives. He's one of many, such giants as Pete Seeger and Leadbelly, Doc Watson. And we have a great archive. And the first day I came, I was greeted by our archivist, Jeff Place. And I was expecting a very formal meeting, and I was dressed in a big suit, and I was greeted by a man with a big bushy beard and long hair, and you could tell, he's a walking encyclopedia, but very laid back and very down to earth, very hip.
I wanted to learn about the internship program, but as long as we're talking about it, I have to ask you, so after you're doing this research and working and trying to capture the magic of folk music and make sure that people can understand this rich part of our musical history, what's the future of folk music? Is this something that stays in history, or does it have a life into the future from your standpoint?
I think it definitely has a life in the future. It's a cyclical process. You see the influences of folk music always coming back, even right now in the contemporary scene, such as in the indie genre of music. There's a lot of artists now who aren't just playing with the simple instruments such as a guitar, a bass, and a drum set. They're including a mandolin or a banjo, a stand-up bass. And there's a lot of influences with the folk scene coming back again.
While you're talking about the folk scene, we have to bring in Raisa. You've had some great experiences dealing with some of the folk culture, if you will, as well. So we want to hear a little bit about that. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. You came to this country from
Cameroon in Central Africa. That was 3 years ago. So as soon as I arrived in this country, I studied at Montgomery College, like a week after I got here.
Oh, wow.
That's a big change for me.
It's some vacation you took.
Right.
So I started in the pre-med program at Montgomery College, and about 2 semesters after, I got into the honors program, and it is through my English honors class that I heard about the Smithsonian Internship. And I applied, and they hired me.
Tell us about the program that you were able to work for and are continuing to do some work for on your own.
Yes. Last summer, I worked with the Folklife Festival, and it was such an incredible experience because before going there, I thought that my work would have something to do with mathematics or biology or anything like that. But it was nothing like that. I was working with artists, musicians, and I had such a great time working with them, preparing the Folklife Festival, and it was really interesting.
For people who don't know, tell us a little bit about what the Folklife Festival is.
The Folklife Festival is a national, or should I say, international festival that the Smithsonian Institute held every summer. So they invite people, countries from all over the world. Like last year we had Vietnam, China, Senegal, and many other countries. So they do that every summer, and the countries that I invited present their cultural music, food, art crafts, and stuff like that.